Tennessee history often includes Hernando de Soto, the Spanish explorer who traversed the land in 1540. But before that, the Cherokee in the west and the Chickasaw in the east and the south laid claim to the area. Tennessee is the name of a Cherokee village that served as a main center for the Cherokee at one time. Tennessee, which some interpretations say means meeting place, eventually became the state's name. Almost 6.5 million people live in the state, many of them close to the capital city. The state bird is the mockingbird, and the state animal is the raccoon. The state slogan is America at its best. Tennessee is known as the volunteer state. Many volunteer soldiers from Tennessee played prominent roles in historic battles. The most famous of these volunteers was Davy Crockett, who later served as a U.S. congressman. Tennessee provided more soldiers than any other state in the Civil War, and more soldiers to the Union Army than any other state. Tennessee has a fairly predictable climate. Summers are mostly hot, around 90 degrees with high humidity. Winters tend to be mild with low temperatures near freezing, but colder at higher elevations. Strong storms are common in the state. On average, 50 days a year produce thunderstorms, some severe, including tornadoes. Winter storms don't invade the state very often, but it does happen. The main geological feature enjoyed in Tennessee are the Blue Ridge Mountains, including the Great Smoky Mountains, which are both part of the Appalachian Mountain Range. The Blue Ridge Mountains get their name from the bluish tint apparent in the air when seen from a distance. The forest trees release an organic compound that creates the distinctive blue haze. The Smokies are named after a similar effect that creates a natural fog that looks like smoke. With good rainfall and a long growing season, agriculture is one of the three main industries in Tennessee. Soybeans are the top crop for the state, but corn, cotton, and tobacco are also grown. Poultry and cattle are the top livestock. Processed food like cereal and other grain products hold the top spot for Tennessee's manufacturing industry. Transportation equipment and industrial chemicals also play major roles in the economy. Tennessee also mines natural resources like coal and zinc. Tennessee is a state that has a rich history surrounding whiskey production. Perhaps the best known today is the Jack Daniel's Sour Mash Tennessee Whiskey, the best-selling American whiskey in the world. Ironically, Moore County, the home of the Jack Daniel's distillery, is a dry county, so the product is not available at the local markets. Another amazing product to originate from Tennessee is country music. Bristol, Tennessee is known as the home of country music, and Nashville carries the title Music City. Nashville is home to the Grand Ole Opry, the longest-running live radio program in the country. The Grand Ole Opry stage has hosted many of the world's top country musicians and is considered an American icon. Famous record labels and recording studios, including RCA's famed Studio B, are located along Music Row near downtown Nashville. Many famous artists live in Nashville and the surrounding areas. Other notable cities in Tennessee are Memphis, known as the home of the blues and the birthplace of rock and roll, where you can find places like the world-famous Sun Studio, where legends like Elvis, B.B. King, and Roy Orbison have recorded. Chattanooga is another historic and scenic city, and today is quickly earning the reputation for having the fastest internet connections in the country. Tennessee's professional sports teams include the NFL's Tennessee Titans, the NBA's Memphis Grizzlies, and the NHL's Nashville Predators. Plenty of famous talent has been born in Tennessee, including musicians Greg Allman, Kenny Chesney, Tina Turner, Aretha Franklin, and Justin Timberlake. Actors like Megan Fox, Morgan Freeman, Shannon Doherty, director Quentin Tarantino, and many others. Besides the mountains and the music, Tennessee has many entertainment destinations, including Dolly Parton's Dollywood, which hosts concerts and musical events, and Graceland, the famous home of Elvis Presley and the second most visited house in the country. I-75 travels through Tennessee from Jellicoe to Knoxville. As you drive along, you'll notice on both sides of the road the massive amounts of rock that needed to be removed to accommodate the highway, and frequent signs warning of falling rock. It's a relatively short trip through Tennessee, but a very scenic one. Knoxville, Tennessee is the third largest city in the state and is also known as the Heart of the Valley. The nation's largest truck stop chain, Pilot Flying J, is based in Knoxville. Chattanooga is Tennessee's fourth largest city. Known as the Scenic City, it's surrounded by mountains and ridges. Altoid breath mints are made in Chattanooga, and by the way, Little Debbie brand snack cakes are made just a few miles away in Collegedale, Tennessee.